Anyways, yeah, Sandopolis. Yeah, I don't really like the little repelling handles. Those are a stupid obstacle. That's a waste of time. Uh, I actually do like the sand waterfalls. Sand water? What do you even call them? Yeah, I'm just gonna go with sand waterfalls, because that's basically what they are. This always bothered me. You can get infinite hits on this guy. You can just keep doing this forever, over and over and over again. And indeed, you will end up doing it forever, because that thing is invincible. No amount of hits will kill it. Or I don't know, maybe after 256 hits, it'll die. But yeah, it's a waste of time. Although there is actually a 1-up on the other side of that little chasm there. The way to get it is to go over top of him. Or is it just a 1-up? Oh, you know what? Did I despawn him? It's been so long since I've done this. Yeah, I guess another way to do it is to just despawn the boss. Or the boss? Obstacle? Drill thing? Whatever. This is kind of a bullshit obstacle here, though. And, yep, all 4. 2 rings. Oh, actually, this is a little shortcut. Okay, so this is a little bit fancier than I remembered. That's neat. I like that, actually. Glad that I took the time. Oh, the music in... How many zones have I said that for? The music in this zone is so great. I actually... Act 1 I like way better than Act 2, music-wise. And actually, yeah, that little shortcut actually takes us onto the Sonic path through the level. The Knuckles path is a little bit trickier. Actually, a little bit more bullshit. Now that I think of it, I kind of want to show it off. I kind of want to die here and show it off for the sake of variety. So I am literally going to do that. Mulligan, start from the beginning, and we'll actually show the Knuckles path for once, just for the sake of variety. Because yeah, I've been talking about how the Knuckles paths are bullshit, and I haven't gotten a chance to show it off that much. So we're going to actually take an honest-to-goodness Knuckles path this time. Wow, really losing my voice here. Excuse me a moment. You just keep drilling away there, drill buddy. Will I take a swig? Oh dear, collapsing platform. Anyways, yeah. Actually, honestly, the Knuckles route through this level is not quite as bullshit as the others, but it's still not great. And also, as with all the others, you lose the freedom that I really love in the Sonic 3 and Knuckles level designs. It's just more restrictive, more linear. It's just not... It takes away a lot of the fun that the levels in these games have. It's just basically just linear obstacle course full of like shooting fireballs, swinging spikes, exploding shit, just basically garbage that's gonna take away all your rings all over the place, just constantly one after another, no breather, no speedways. Honestly, that's actually kind of the way the Lava Reef works in general. Like, honestly, this is the one zone I'd say that is, like, heavily weighted more towards obstacles than speedways. I don't think there's a single speedway in the entire Lava Reef zone as either Sonic or Knuckles. Double Lava Waterfall? Come on, Lava Waterfall is a stupid Lava Waterfall. Yeah, I guess just everything that falls is a waterfall from now on. But, yeah. Ooh, can we make it? Yeah. That was a little bit of a risky play there. Yeah, I don't think there was a single speedway in any version of this zone. Like, I guess if you consider the tube speedways, this right here can be really tricky. It's the timing to glide over those spikes. Like, you gotta time your glide just right, and it's like, right as soon as you hit your head on the ceiling, you gotta hit the glide button. And that's the only way you get past those spikes without taking a hit. It's a bit tricky. The timing's very specific. Honestly, actually, it's so fast, actually, that you can pretty much just double tap, jump as fast as you can, and as long as fast as you can isn't too slow, you'll probably get it. But even so, it can be tricky to learn the timing on those. And again, as you can see, there's just like really linear corridors here. There's a bunch of, yeah, obstacles, brick walls, or stone walls to break through. I'm just narrating things as we see them. Just everything that you see on screen, I'm gonna tell you what there is. This is this is the closed captioned, or not closed captioned, the one that's, what do you call it? The one that's for blind people. Narrated, I guess? I don't know. What is the name for, like, the opposite of closed captioning? Like, instead of like subtitling all the noises and everything, you, like, describe everything that's happening on screen out loud. I guess just radio play. This is the radio play version of an LP. Which actually is a thing that I guess you could do, pretty much. I actually do that sometimes, where I'll just leave LPs running in the background while I'm like doing other things, at which point they're like essentially podcasts. Ooh, I mistimed that badly. This is actually another boss that's... This boss is actually no different as Knuckles than as Sonic or Tails, but it's a lot tougher because your jump height is much lower, so it takes a lot more cycles to get those little tendrils. Basically, it takes you, like, yeah, basically, like, 3 times as many cycles to hit those things, because you're missing out on, like, 4 hits per cycle. Also, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, the timing on that little clamp down thing is different. I believe it comes down faster as Knuckles. Yeah, I'm positive that I could do that on reaction as Sonic, and as Knuckles, I've got to anticipate it. Oh well, at least we got the... Yeah, we actually got the full loop on the mid-boss music for once, so I'm glad we got to show that off, at least. Oh yeah, it's not even possible to get 3 hits on this one, so yeah, this one definitely clamps down faster than the Sonic version of this boss. There we go. Anyways, and Act 2 in this zone is another one that's mostly different for Knuckles. Although it's not actually bullshit, it's kind of linear, just kind of boring and easy. And actually, it's the final zone for Knuckles too. Yeah, like I said, this is about what I expected. We'll end up at about little over an hour and a half for the Knuckles playthrough here. And yeah, so this part right here is identical to the Sonic playthrough. Oh yeah, was I done talking about Sandopolis? Like, it is definitely, you know, kind of a slower type zone. It's got the occasional speedway, loop-de-loops, all that good stuff, but it's definitely more heavily weighted towards the obstacle course type stuff. Which I like. Like I said, it's got Sonic 1 style. It's kind of... Obstacle course type stuff is almost what I'd call kind of Sonic 1 style. Sonic 1 was very heavily weighted towards the obstacle courses compared to the later games in the series. I guess Sonic CD as well, although that had many, many more speedway type things than Sonic 1. I'll come to Sonic CD eventually, I think, when I eventually Let's Play that, but, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Sandopolis Zone is probably the one zone that has the biggest contrast, I think, between Act 1 and Act 2. Or actually, you know what? That's not entirely true. Actually, that's not true at all. Now that I think of it. Because yeah, Lava Reef also has a massive contrast between Act 1 and Act 2. Yeah, just between the level design and the visual design of the level, this is like way different. This is like almost looks like a different zone even. But yeah, Sandopolis Act 1 is definitely way different from Act 2. And I think Act 2 is the one that most people have problems with. They hate the ghosts, they hate the rising sand, and they just, you know, have a lot of trouble with that kind of stuff. They never took the time to learn the game, which is a bit of a shame. Because yeah, like I said, it's really not hard if you just, you know, kind of play it... I don't want to say intelligently, but I don't know what else to say instead. If you just stop doing it wrong, there's nothing to it. Just hit the switches. Or if you fail to hit the switches, just kill the ghosts. That's all there is to it. Oh dear. As a little kid, I never knew that you could actually spin dash to dispel the toxic cloud. I just thought it was like death no matter what you did if you got hit by the stupid gas cloud. Yeah, I actually yeah, got a lot of deaths to those what do you call them? Man, I swear to you, as a kid, I used to know all the names of all the enemies in the Sonic games, just because I kept on reading, you know, reading strategy guides and manuals and that kind of stuff, because I was into all the Sonic media. Not just the comic books, not just the TV shows, but the, yeah, the strategy guides and walkthroughs as well. And yeah, even the Sonic the Hedgehog Where's Waldo, or whatever you want to call it that I mentioned the last time around. Although one thing that I never saw back in the day that I only discovered years later was the Sonic the Hedgehog anime, the OVA, original video animation that was released back in the mid-90s. I probably would have hated it as a kid, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't have hated it. I mean, you know, it was Sonic, so I would have loved it, obviously, but I wouldn't have liked it nearly as much as the, as, you know, either of the American cartoon series, which is, I wouldn't have appreciated, though, the fact that there's kind of an apparent difference between, kind of the characterization of Sonic towards the Japanese market, as opposed to the way he's portrayed for the American market. And okay, we got Hidden Palace Zone, which is even more of a non-entity, or I guess even less of an entity, if you want to remove the negatives from that sentence, but somehow make it make even less sense. I don't know. Hidden Palace Zone, why does it even exist? There's no point. Sky Sanctuary Zone, kind of the same thing. Nothing here but some boss fights. We're basically done the game now. Back to this claw. There's no way you can hit that guy. Knuckles can't jump high enough. Get caught by the claw, and then, hey, it's actually, this guy's actually a final boss this time around. It's actually a bit easier as Knuckles, I think, just because the glide makes it a lot easier to get those extra hits. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh well. I don't really... yeah, there's no reason to have more than one ring for this fight. Phase 2. If you're really good, you can do a quick kill on this guy. You can 2-cycle him and never see his second attack. Okay, I'll show off the strategy, or show off the trick to get 4 hits on him. It's not really a trick, it's just you hit him a bunch of times as fast as you can. And then I'll slow it down a bit so that you can actually see this guy's second attack phase. 2, 3, and then hit, 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 hit. And actually, I believe you can get a 5th hit there if you time it, like, very, very perfectly. I don't think I've ever done it, but it is possible. At least based on the timing, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, most of the time, though, you'll get... if you're just a newcomer, you'll get 1 or 2 hits on him. Oops. Oh, wow, or only 1 hit. That sucks. I'm actually gonna get an extra cycle out of this. Oh, well. But yeah, this is a pretty simple boss. It's a really cool concept, at least. I really like the idea of just, you know, Super Mecha Sonic getting powered up by the Master Emerald and, you know, kind of powering down. Okay, and this is phase 2 of the fight, where he just fires off basically rings in 8 directions. They look like rings, at least. Don't you think those look like... yeah, those are like basically rings, except they're not spinning and they're a little wider. Oh, and hey, look at that. He's got kind of just standing straight in midair, which is kind of funny. And yeah, basically this is actually even easier than the first phase. It only takes 2 hits, and that's all there is to it. But yeah, I showed off the technique, so if you hit him enough times, you can actually skip that phase entirely. You just hit him 4 times the first cycle, hit him 4 times the second, and then you're done. So yeah. And then there's no extra stage or anything for getting all the emeralds or something. You just get a different ending. So yeah, that's why I don't really care about... I especially don't even care about getting the emeralds as Knuckles. And if anything, the ending is arguably better if you don't get the emeralds. Yeah, so yeah, since we didn't get the emeralds, the floating island is just gonna sink down into the ocean and become a proper island. And it's, honestly, that's a weird name, like the floating island. Like, okay, it's floating in the air, but like it's not like islands don't float. Like they're still floating. Like it's still gonna be a floating island after it sinks down into the ocean. It'll just be floating on water instead, which is where islands fucking belong. Like what? Look at how high up in the sky it was. Like, okay, if you get the quote-unquote good ending for Knuckles and get all the emeralds, he returns the emeralds, and then instead of sinking down back into the ocean, it rises. It rises up to the sky and basically all the way up into space. Like the little space background that you saw in the Sonic playthrough, like the final boss when you're fighting the final like giant egg robo for the Sonic final boss. Like you see that space background, the floating island floats up that high, which is a stupid place for an island with living beings on it. It's like they're like even apart from the fact that, you know, it flies up into outer space and everyone fucking dies, even if you just get it like up high, like up in the atmosphere, the air would be so thin, like it would be difficult to breathe. It's much nicer for like the actual living creatures on the floating island, for them to be like back down to Earth where the air is breathable. And you don't have to wear an oxygen tank to keep from passing out. If anything, you'd think Eggman would want the island to float up into the sky, because his robots don't give a shit about breathing, so he'd love it there, up the rest of his base and shit. Anyways. That's my rant about the floating island. Yeah, just the way it's presented in the good ending is so weird too, because it ends with like the shot of like the floating island against like the space background, or like right below like space. It's like just about to float off into space. And that's the good ending. I don't know. Like I said, Knuckles is an idiot. And that's I wonder if that's like sort of the origin of the Knuckles is an idiot portrayal that you see sort of carried forward into the more story-driven Sonic games, your Sonic adventures, and I guess your Sonic carried to its extreme in the modern Sonic Boom series. And I guess, yeah, that kind of brings things back to Knuckles. Like I said, not a big fan of the Knuckles route through Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Probably the least fun way to play the game, in my opinion. Still not bad, though. You're still playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles. You lose some of the good parts, you add some shitty parts, but you still got those same solid basic mechanics. It's a missed opportunity, I think. I really wish that they'd have made better routes for Knuckles and just done a better job of designing the levels to be more accommodating to all the 3 different characters and give them different things to do within them. So, anyways, but you know, for completion's sake, and just for the fact that I haven't played Knuckles in ages in this game, and yeah, there it is, back in the ocean where it fucking belongs. Good ending achieved. And yeah, I'm not gonna bother running the, oh, actually, this is a cool little, just kind of ominous ending here, too. It's like, ooh, to be continued. And actually, yeah, he does come back. He does fucking come back in Knuckles Chaotix. Mecha Sonic as the final boss of Knuckles Chaotix. So if anything, this is actually the canonical ending of Sonic 3, the Sonic 3 and Knuckles path, featuring Knuckles from Knuckles, etc., etc. Anyways, yeah, that's Sonic 3 complete, the Knuckles path through the game. Basically the same as the regular Sonic 3 and Knuckles with Knuckles. Oh my goodness, I've done so much Sonic tonight. I think I'm Sonic'd out for a good long while. As ever, thank you all so much for watching. I had so much fun sharing with this with you guys. And yeah, thank you for watching, and until next time, yeah, I'll see you guys next game. Actually, no, we're gonna end it just like this. Yeah, laugh it up, Nurkles. He gets the emeralds and runs away. There, we got our emeralds. LP done. Good ending achieved after all. See you guys later.